right here of another partnership on the double side, and talk about this matchup. And that does land in, so talk about this matchup, Will, in the seeds coming into this matchup here on the grandstand court.
So we have got number 5 seed Christian Alshon taking on the 11th seed Julian Arnold here in the round of 16. And these guys, an interesting fact, they're playing men's doubles together later today as well.
Two incredible singles players. I expect this to be a very, very competitive match. Wouldn't shock me at all to see this go 3. Christian Alshon, a very, very dangerous emerging threat here on the professional pickleball tour. He's not a guy, Will, that you want to see on your side of the bracket when the draws come out. And Christian Alshon, he's a really, really dangerous, long singles player, covers the court extremely well.
And Julian Arnold coming out hot here. Got 3 points on his first serve, and the nice backhand flick finish down the line to get the side out.
Julian Arnold, a tremendous track record here on the PPA Tour in singles. What makes Julian Arnold so tough is, number one, he has a great serve. He has a phenomenal return, both off the two-handed backhand side and, of course, the forehand. His footwork is as good as anybody on the tour. He's very, very, in my opinion, an underrated player from a mobility standpoint. And that's a perfect example of it. I think he's listening to us well. But
would not be surprised.
Tremendous court coverage there. I think Alshon thought he had that ball by Julian, and tremendous stretch on that backhand volley. Well, there's an unforced error by Alshon. He likes that backhand slice stab volley. Be shocked if he misses that again. So a quick 4-0 lead here by the veteran Arnold. The wind's going to take that out. Julian liked it when he hit it, but the wind moved that 1.5 feet in the air.
And that just another thing the players are dealing with, the wind out here in Palm Springs today.
Yeah, it's a good point. You know, at 8 a.m. this morning, the wind was gusting to about 36, 37 miles an hour. And right now, it's probably a constant wind of about 10, with gusts up to about 18, according to the truck. And folks, you probably can't tell from your television or computer screen, but Arnold is playing downwind and left to right. You just get the sense, Will, that Julian Arnold has total control of the points so far here in game 1.
Right. What a touch. Topspin cross-court roll dink right there. Gets the winner and the side out. And Alshon able to get the side out there. Nice forehand volley. We'll see if he can get on the board here in game 1.
Oh, Alshon got the high forehand volley that he wanted and was licking his chops, and he wants that one back. Look how long Arnold Christian Alshon is. He's a very, very difficult pass. One big move to his right or left, and he can almost cover the entire court. That's part of what makes him such a tough out here on Pro Singles Day.
And Julian Arnold goes down the line, gets a little bit of help from the net, gets that side out. Looking sharp early, played a match yesterday, beating Alex Newman in 2 games. That could be one of the reasons why he already looks so warm here today. And gets the backhand to drop very deep in the court.
Just enough topspin on that ball to get it down. When that thing went by Christian, he could have hit it, but he thought the wind was going to take that long, as did I. But it did come down right on that baseline. So terrific. Topspin pass there from Arnold. Oh, and some more net love. And with that, Christian with a wry smile there to Arnold and a timeout. Man, we've had...
Always dangerous. A tough out for sure.
I'm looking forward to that one as well.
And Alshon able to get those volleys back at the net using that wingspan. Gets the side out. We'll see if he can get off 0 here. And we hear one of Julian Arnold's signature andiamos after a backhand winner down the line.
I was going to say wide. And on Humana Championship Court right now is Anna Lee Waters taking on the tennis, past tennis star.
Caitlin Christian.
Was just over there talking to Anna Lee's father, and she was so anxious to get on the court today and play after practicing so much this week. Yeah, Alshon's ball just sitting up a little bit high there, and with Julian's terrific mobility at the kitchen line, that is not going to end well. So an early 7-0 lead here, game 1.
And Julian Arnold just hitting some great drops, really attacking the backhand of Christian Alshon with those drops in that corner. Dave, we're seeing him stand not quite in the middle when he's serving on that left side. What do you have to say about that?
Well, he really wants to hit the forehand pass. He's just got such a beautiful flowing forehand, as we just saw in that return of serve. And I think you're going to continue to see Arnold target the Alshon backhand. But Alshon is so quick to run around it. I mean, for him, it's just that one big step to his left, like you just saw. And he can run around that and flick that forehand. And he can take that forehand in any direction, and he can hit it with any spin. He prefers that top. And now he's developing the points more to his liking and setting up some opportunities for himself. So let's see if Alshon can build some momentum here and claw back into this first game here on Grandstand Court.
And great anticipation there from Julian Arnold. Leaning right and then getting there to the backhand. And of course, a signature andiamo there as he gets the serve back, leading 8-2 in game 1 against Christian Alshon. And what a shot right there. What a backhand shot right there. You see on the replay, doesn't quite go around the net, but gets enough spin on it to drop it deep. Julian Arnold in the zone right here.
The shot of the match so far. Well, I thought if he would have waited another half a second, that ball would have gotten wide enough that he could have gone around the post. That's a really good deep return there by Julian, putting a lot of pressure on Christian's pass. So he's got the ball back, serving at 9. He's 2 points away from capturing this first game in this best 2 out of 3 games to 11. Boy, the wind didn't touch that ball. And it sails long, so game point here.
I saw it in.
When Alshon sees it out, Julian Arnold appeals to the main ref, and the main ref says she saw it in. So that will...
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Yeah, don't hit me on my phone like face it. None of y'all can stop me saying what we like face it. Shut it down, you know I'm the one doing face it. None of y'all can stop me saying what we like. Yeah, 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 face it. Yeah, 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 face it. Yeah, 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 face it.
Alshon serving downwind and left to right.
And that drive just a little too high. Arnold able to slap the forehand cross court, gets the side out. And that's just good, disciplined pickleball right there from Christian Alshon. Came to the net off the return. Didn't go for too much on that first forehand volley. Didn't go for too much on the backhand volley.
All set up by a really good deep return to Julian's backhand. Oh, that's a terrific volley. Love how fast Julian Arnold closes to the kitchen line. You know, in some of the matches earlier today that you and I have done here, we have not seen that. We haven't seen the players close to that kitchen line really quickly after the return of serve, which I teach that as such an important part of singles, is not only to hit a good return, but to close in and follow it in. How fast he gets in there. Oh, that's really good play by Christian. Disguises that volley really, really well. It's very difficult to read where Alshon's going with his backhand volley. When I play against him in doubles, I have trouble with his backhand volley because he's as good as anybody at the last second, just opening up the face of that paddle and going inside out to the other player's forehand. Yeah, that's in. That's a great ball.
A shot from Christian Alshon. There's that forehand, the former D3 collegiate tennis champion.
So Alshon in command early here in game 2 at 4-0, and that's going to elicit a quick and wise timeout by Julian Arnold before this.
And welcome back, folks. Round of 16 men's singles action at the PPA Masters, Hyundai Masters, powered by Invited. What a shot right there, Dave, from Julian Arnold. The cross-court forehand gets him on the board here in game 2.
Extremely well disguised at the last second. Flicks that forehand, the right wrist taking over to create that cross-court shot. Alshon couldn't get to it. Terrific timeout, by the way, by Arnold. Oh, what hands off that net. Sometimes one of the hardest things to do is adjust to a net cord, and that ball ended up 3 feet higher than it initially was going to be, and Alshon quickly reacts.
And that is great play from Christian Alshon. Going back to that pattern that's had some success here in game 2 with that top spin drop to Julian Arnold's backhand, and then able to attack with his backhand down the line of his own.
Great court coverage there at that kitchen line by Alshon. His coach, Lee Waters, has left championship court and come over to watch her student play after watching her daughter capture game 1. Oh, that's very, very impressive. Forehand roll cross court.
We'll see if Arnold's able to put together a run here in game 2. Trails Alshon 1-6.
Yeah, Alshon just didn't get anything on that backhand volley. It floats high and an easy put away for Julian, really moving forward nicely to close out that point.
Alshon, Arnold serving here 2-6. Alshon just gets a lot of topspin on that one-handed backhand flick. It's so hard to deal with, especially when you're trying to drop it in the kitchen. The misdirection from Arnold right there on the forehand volley. So tough to tell whether he's going cross-court or down the line.
And terrific anticipation there by Julian, reading that ball, going wide to his forehand and moving early. Look at the coverage by Christian at the kitchen line with that long reach. Phenomenal play.
What a serve right there from Alshon. Just gets so deep in the court, hard to hit it and come into the kitchen at the same time.
And that gets him to 7-2 here in game 2.
And Alshon feeling it right now, gets the inside out forehand pass, makes it 8-2 here in game 2.
So maybe it was the new shoes for Christian making a difference here, but I have a feeling it was more getting downwind and having that wind push that ball quicker. So it gets to your opponent faster, makes those passing shots a little bit easier, puts a little more pressure. To me, much more in singles than in doubles when I play into the wind. I'm feeling it more. And the wind, not enough to bring that ball back. So Arnold, the ball in his hand, serving at 2-8, trying to claw back into this game 2.
And Alshon just being super sharp at the kitchen, having a lot more success with those volleys. I don't think he's missed any at the kitchen yet in this game. Had a few errors in game 1. See him settling in here.
And you were saying it's how important it is to get that serve deep in the court like that, and getting the serve in the back third of the court and the wind pushing the ball even more into a Julian Arnold body is what's forcing a lot of these serve.
Julian Arnold gets a side out of the timeout, serving now at 2-9 in game 2.
In the wind, knocking that ball down into the net. I think Arnold liked it when he hit it.
But then again, Arnold playing on that side where you're playing into the wind. Got to put a little bit more on it, unable to do so there. Alshon gets the serve at 9-2. And the wind coming alive during that point. Players having to adjust. Well done by both of them to extend that rally. Arnold gets the side out though with the pressure at the net.
Just a miss hit there by Arnold, picking his head up a little early to focus on where the ball was going. And that's human nature, to focus on results. I try to really get my students to focus on the process of the ball hitting the center of the paddle.
Julian Arnold wins that game of cat and mouse. Nice backhand volley down the line. A little stalemate here with Alshon leading at 9-2.
Oh, and Alshon really wants that back. He set up that point so well with that really deep return of serve, but he couldn't finish it. So 3-9.
Able to get it back there. Arnold's shot just goes into the net. It's so hard to keep hitting those spots when you've got your opponent in the kitchen.
Let's see if Christian can get to that. Number 10, which he does not do.
Arnold with a very nice backhand flick cross court. Made contact with it beneath the net. Super hard to keep that low. Going for a little bit too much there on that drive. Just wide, and the serve goes back to Alshon, leading 9-3.
So good on that forehand volley. Arnold knows right here is the key point in this game. I think he's got to get a couple of points here, Will, on this series. And that's one way to do it. So that gets him to 4. And Alshon, knowing what a key point it is in this game, wisely calls a timeout and doesn't let Arnold to generate any forward momentum.
Right, you see that right there. Obviously, Arnold not wanting to lose any of that momentum, staying on the court, trying to stay engaged, stay warm. And Alshon going over to talk it over with his coach and mixed doubles partner, Lee Waters.
Yeah, her first tournament back since her knee injury about a year ago. So wonderful to see her out here. Looks like Anna Lee has completed her
singles match.
Her singles match against Caitlin Christian.
She gets it done 11-7, 11-1 against Caitlin Christian. So that sets up a quarterfinal matchup between Waters and Lena Pedegamaite.
Yeah, and Lena, a very dangerous singles player. I expect that to be a more competitive match than some people think. We've got some other really good matchups going on today as well on the pro women's singles. That's a really good serve by Julian Arnold, getting that ball in the last foot of the court with some kick. Arnold upset with himself, saying you set it up so well for yourself. You got the one that you wanted. So let's see if Alshon can get to that all-important 10-point. And he finally does after being stuck on 9 for what felt like 8 minutes. Moving on to game point here to capture game 2 and force a deciding game 3.
And what a backhand flick down the line. Christian Alshon takes game 2, 11-5. What a response from Alshon after dropping game 1.
Just as we thought, a highly competitive match going to game 3. Yeah, terrific forehand volley there by Alshon. really wants to get a lead here and make that switch when he's into the wind. If he can get the lead at the switch, he's got a huge advantage, and he knows that.
Right.
And I think that's what he was talking about with Coach Waters on that sideline, is to try to get the lead here early and then get downwind and close this match out. Really good serve there. So Julian up 1-0 here early, game 3. Yeah, that ball not really coming up, but give Alshon credit. He had a lot of spin on that ball.
Able to get it over the net so hard to hit that third shot when it's such a deep return.
So 1-3 here in the early stages.
And Alshon able to get the backhand flick across court.
Can you see how Alshon goes for extra on his serve when he's serving from the south end, when he's into the wind? You notice that? He's going for a lot more when he's on that side. Let's see if he does it here. Yeah, that ain't coming back.
Nope.
Love how he torques his wrist to create that angle. He's as good as anybody.
So hard to create that angle for so many players and still get that amount of spin.
Yep, and it's why Julian Arnold is so good at the cat and mouse game. We haven't seen a ton of those kind of points in this particular match, but when you get into a cat and mouse game, in singles, Arnold is as good as anybody.
And just when we talk about the cat and mouse, Julian Arnold shows what he can do with the forehand drive. It's the cross-court winner. Makes it 2-4 here in game 3.
I really like how Arnold took some pace off that volley and just rolled it down the line, and the ball stayed down. So many players, they try to overhit that volley, and then the ball gets elevated, and then it makes it for an easier forehand pass from the opponent. Yeah, good hands by Arnold. He saved two chances there, but it was inevitable that as he just said to himself, you got to get the ball down. It's one thing in pickleball, folks. It's not how hard you hit it oftentimes. The location that you hit the shot is much more important than the pace.
Arnold called for a foot fault there.
I saw it too.
By the ref.
And both refs agreeing that they both saw it. So Arnold is not going to make an issue about this when both refs have seen it. And he's very upset with himself.
Now serving with the wind.
So Alshon getting that lead that we talked about when he was playing into the wind. He got to the 6 first, and that was his goal coming into that game. Let's see if he can finish.
Football, right foot.
And a foot fault called on Alshon. He's going to appeal it.
No.
Is it possible I was like this when I hit it?
No, it was down.
And both referees will agree that his foot was down, his right foot on that line. So that will give Arnold the point. Oh, and that net court, Alshon cannot catch up to that. So we have a timeout by the receiver, Christian Alshon, with Julian Arnold trying to make a run here after being down early. He was 2-6 serving into the wind.
And now, after that run, it's 4-6. What do you think about the timeout here, Dave? It's still pretty early in game 3. Do you like it? Stop the momentum for Arnold?
I do, especially after that call. I think Christian Alshon is realizing that call got into his head a little bit, and I think he wants to just regroup. And, you know, as he comes back on the court, looking over at us, and I think he just is going to try to regroup mentally here more than a physical situation right now, as I think he was a little concerned about that call. And he is back and ready to rock right here and try to get this side out. And hits a tremendous deep return to the backhand downwind, putting a lot of pressure on the Arnold two-hander, forcing that error.
And that's a big point right there for Christian Alshon. Extends the lead to 3. Missed volley from Arnold there.
Let's give Alshon a lot of credit. You know, Julian Arnold came out and won this game 1 handily. It really wasn't even close.
John to serve.
Arnold goes for the deep return down the middle to not let Alshon have an angle on the pass. And I think Julian got the forehand volley he wanted. He just mishit it again. See where he goes with this one. Oh, terrific court coverage there by Julian Arnold on a really key point in this deciding game 3. We are at Mission Hills Country Club. What an absolute beautiful spot, Will. No matter where you are on these grounds, you have incredible views of the mountains. And the forehand pass there by Julian sails wide. Another mishit.
And the serve takes an unfortunate bounce for Arnold, forces the return to go long. Match point here for Alshon. And that's going to do it.
2 missed returns at the end of that match. So
we are back live with a special guest, a tremendous 3-game winning match. Christian, that was really fun to watch. Talk about how he came out really on fire in that game 1, playing besides the change of shoes, which I want to ask you about as well, but how did you turn the tables and get that momentum going forward there in game 2?
Thanks, Dave. I mean, I specifically chose to start on the bad side so that I could end on the better side, which I did. And the bad side is usually the side that's away from the wind, because in singles you want to be with the wind, and you can really hit through those balls, and the winners and the drives just really fly through the court. Man, Julian was playing so well in the first game. Like I had made a lot of sloppy mistakes, and unfortunately I just set myself up for a lot of winners, and I just didn't execute on it. He did a great job of just pulling some crazy shots, and the thing is I couldn't keep that up. I just knew it. I mean, if he did, he deserves to win that match. So all I had to do was just not do anything special, stay calm, and I changed my shoes too.
Yeah, what was up with that shoe break between games 1 and 2, buddy?
So I mean, the Masters, as you know, it's an all-white event. I had to go in my closet and find a whole pair of white shoes, and they're a little, I don't know what the word is, but scraped up on the bottom, nice and smooth there. So I wasn't getting any traction, so I decided to change shoes, and it helped.
Terrific. And then we were talking about at the beginning of that game 3 how it was so important for you being on the bad side to try to take the lead at the turn. And you came out on fire, in total control. How did you get that early 6-2 lead on the bad side in that game 3?
A lot of it comes from the momentum of winning the second game. So usually whoever wins the second game has the momentum, has the advantage. So even though I was on the bad side, I was like, I'm in his head right now. He's the one that needs to change something up. I don't have to do anything special. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. That's what I did.
Well, I also thought you were reading his passing shots so much better in that game 2 and game 3 in your court coverage at the kitchen line. He didn't have many clean passes after the first game. What did you do, or how did you improve how to read his passing shots as that match went on?
Well, like I said, in the first game, he was just hitting some crazy passing shots. I think I was doing in the first game, I think I was covering the right spots. He was just pulling out the shots. It wasn't really my fault. So in the second game, I kind of tightened down on the shots that I know he goes for more, and made him keep hitting those crazy shots, which he just wasn't getting.
Yes, well, congratulations. What a terrific win. We get the best seat in the house for it. Good luck the rest of the week. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dave.
And there you have it from Christian Alshon, booking his spot in the quarterfinals of the Hyundai Masters, powered by Invited.